The International Criminal Court has ordered 4 prominent Kenyans to stand trial on charges they helped organize deadly post-election violence in Kenya 4 years ago. The Hague-based court says there is sufficient evidence to proceed with trials against Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta, former Education Minister William Ruto, Cabinet Secretary Francis Muthaura, and Radio Executive Joshua Arap Sang. Kenya exploded in ethnic violence after the disputed 2007 presidential election. The violence killed about 1,300 people and displaced more than 300,000 others.
Now, just a short time ago, I spoke by phone with David Ohito, regional editor for the Standard newspaper in Nairobi, about the 4 Kenyans ordered to stand trial by the ICC.
To look at it in Kenya, on one hand, you have supporters of particularly Mr. William Ruto and Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. And those who are allied to these 2 gentlemen are saying that they do not believe in the verdict of the court and they wait to see how it will play out. One, because it is really going to dent their political careers and freedom of movement as they seek to vie for office of the president in the next general election in Kenya. And 2, we have the perception from those in the rival camps who are seeing this as an opportunity, perhaps an advantage to some of the candidates they really support. And so that is how Kenyans are seeing it. And then there is the third option, which leaves out pro-reform activists, including civil societies, that have really come out strongly saying that if there's any political or public or state officer who is still holding office and has a case in court, then they must step aside and leave office.
You'd say that people have been following this case very closely, the decision that came down today. Would you say that was a surprise to many, or is this what many were hoping would happen, at least those in civil society, human rights groups, and those who were affected in the follow-up to the 2007 elections?
If I recollect very clearly, Mr. Campo has been saying that he will be taking 4 to trial, and he's been very consistent on that in his press conferences, I think, for the 15th time. And today, I think it came to pass. And 2, look at it that there were real crimes against humanity which were committed in this country. Up to today, there are thousands of Kenyans who are living in tents because they were uprooted from their homes during the violence. So there's no doubt crimes were committed. There's no doubt Kenyans lost over 1,300 people killed during this mayhem. So under the threshold that there were crimes committed, there's nobody who has ever expressed any doubt.
What about the leaders of the country, President Kibaki and Prime Minister Odinga? Have they made any comment, or has any official from the government made a comment about this?
Yes, the president held a State of the Nation address following that, and he said that the decision to have 4 Kenyans proceed to trial is being treated seriously by government, and he immediately directed the Attorney General, Professor Gitu Muigai, to constitute a legal team to study the ruling and advise on the way forward. And the Prime Minister, on the other hand, also is out of the country somewhere in West Africa, but he has also sent a statement saying that let the due process of law take its course, and Kenyans should remain calm, and that the 4 Kenyans who are going before trial should be considered innocent until the court proves them guilty.
That was David Ohito, regional editor of the Standard newspaper in Nairobi. And meanwhile, the ICC says no decision has been made on whether Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, son of Muammar Gaddafi, should be tried in Libya. The ICC issued an arrest warrant for Saif al-Islam last year after prosecutors accused him of being involved in the killings of protesters during last year's revolt in Libya.